Hello and welcome back to Roads Yet Traveled. We'll be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is on day 10. So, basically, we just spent all of the previous day with Rowan. Well, half of it with Rowan, and then like a good portion of it with Kess and Milo, however you want to pronounce it. And they were trying to find Rowan because he kind of got stuck in a breaker section. And apparently he couldn't get out, so he was like, well, I guess I'll just, head back and then fall asleep. But, yeah, so, Eventually he did kind of make it up to you unintentionally by bringing you to a balcony that overlooks, the planet that they're orbiting. And it gave Tucker a good view of basically the planet. It was a bigger window than Marruk had, so yeah. But yeah. So now it's gonna be day 10, and I wonder what's gonna happen. Ooh. Because Marruk will be taking over this time, since apparently Merowyn is gonna be busy still. So yeah. And obviously, this is just a portion of day 10, sort of like how the other update was just a portion of day 9 at the end, and it just continued into here. So this is just a portion of day 10 with Marruk, and the next update that you see, or the next video that you see, will be the completed day 10. Anyways, but yeah, so let us continue with day 10 and see what happens. Ugh, I slept like crap. I'm amazed that I didn't wake Rowan up after all the times that I got up. It seems like he's still asleep too. I wonder if I should wake him up? Although he hasn't been late to waking me up yet. Just to a myriad of other things. Trying to lay back down feels futile, as I can't find a comfortable position. And my body clearly has decided that it's time to get up. Stretching, I get up and look around for anything to waste some time. It seems like his computer is turned off. And I don't feel like I should turn the lights on just yet. I'd hate to scare him awake, especially after last night. Ugh. I feel so dumb, asking him such intrusive questions after such a long day of work. I should be just grateful to have a room. Well, I think I deserve a room at least. Maybe I'm being too hard on myself. Look, it's too early for this. I think. Ugh. Forget it. I'm washing these bad thoughts away now. Angrily pacing to the bathroom, I turn the shower up high and wait, arms crossed, for the heat to cast away my horrid fatigue. Getting in right as it goes from uncomfortably hot to scalding, I release a heavy sigh and press myself up against the wall. The steaming rain slicks off my smooth skin, racing away as the artificial gravity pulls it down. It hurts, but it's a familiar pain. That does not mean that I can bear it long. So as soon as I turn down the heat, I clean myself off. Still groggy, I step out, the room completely misty and coated in a thin layer of moisture. A poor replacement for morning dew. As I open the door to leave, the cold comes rushing in, ending the world I had created in my stupor. A reminder of where I am. And a refreshing one at that. There is more work to be done, and I've only just seen the beginning of it. Yeah. Let's see it all, this glorious new. I realize now in my blind meandering I hadn't particularly noticed the lights were on. Or that Rowan had been standing over his bed getting dressed. Sorry. Cover your eyes. Wait. I quickly realized that my hands were holding up something important. In an absolute blur, I managed to catch the towel before it falls too low while covering my eyes with my free hand. Sorry. I didn't know that you were up. Yes. I was... He continues to ramble as I hear him desperately throwing clothes on. I can't even begin to imagine how bad I look right now. I really hope this towel is covering most of me. God damn it. Was Marruk right? And then I heard you getting out and I thought that I had more time, but I was so worried so I stopped to check something, but then I... Yeah, this is just a normal morning, alright? He continues rambling to himself as I stand, still dripping. Just waiting for him to give me an all clear. Rowan? When you're done, mind letting me know so that I can get dressed? Right. Of course. Let me just... I can't get by you, Tucker. Oh, sorry. Can you just turn around? Oh, I guess. I hear some awkward shuffling as he readjusts himself until he gives me the go-ahead. Finally, opening my eyes, I see that he's literally just standing in the corner. I'm really glad that I never thought the Blair Witch Project was that scary. Still, he looks ridiculous. Not wasting too much time dwelling on it, I quickly give myself a once-over before starting to get dressed. That was dangerously close. I'll have to make sure that that doesn't happen again. After throwing on my clothes and my new jacket, I clear my throat and call to him. There, all done. Sorry about that. Well, I should have let you know that I was out here. I think that, Lieutenant Saris will be here soon. So, are you, ready? Yeah, I think so. How about you? Yeah. I just have to be in a lot more public areas today, so I'm sorry that you couldn't come with me. Oh, it's no worries. I think I'm a bit tired of all the walking anyways. He nods and goes to check on some things on his monitor. I wonder if the upper floors are any nicer. Or maybe there are some better views? Doc did say something about an observatory. I don't have much time to think about it, as I hear a steady march headed for the door. Turning, I just wait for the inevitable rapping of bone against metal. Knock, knock, knock. Rowan jumps up startled before quickly shuffling over to the door to open it. Good morning. Is he up? Is who up? Marruk doesn't appreciate Rowan's attempt at clarifying the situation, meeting him with a scowl and a confused look. Tucker. Is Tucker up? Oh, yeah. Tucker, I think that, Yep, no worries, bud. Hopping off my bed, I grab my new bag and head for the door, offering Marruk a small nod that he does not return. Ugh. Alright, come on. We got places to be today. Alright, lead the way. He stepped out of the way and down the hall. Before heading out myself, I turn to Rowan, who looks quite sheepish. I'll see you later. Right, bud? What? Yeah. Yeah. I'll see you later, Tucker. With a smile and a nod, I catch up to the Karain impatiently waiting at the end of the hall. Walking with Marruk, I am very shocked that he's going at a bit slower for me, only barking at me to catch up a bit. It's just a weird contrast, especially considering how Rowan basically booked it right after we left Doc's office. Maybe it was the crowd. It's a lot quieter right now than it was yesterday morning. Although I think it's also earlier. I could ask, but I haven't done that math yet on what marks match the hours back home. It feels like 6, so I'm gonna say 6 in the morning and go with whatever that is in marks. Marruk doesn't so much as stop, and I find myself getting lost in the monotony of not knowing where I'm going. Marruk? Where are we going? What, worried that I'm taking you somewhere scary? I think you've seen the worst of the station already, Tucker. What? Nah, I'm just curious. I can't tell where we're going. All these hallways look the same to me. Huh. They look the same to all of us, Tucker. You wanna know why? Why? Because they are the same. Same pattern, at least down here. But don't worry, we're headed to the area that we're patrolling today. I had to change like 3 schedules to make sure that no one was on it. So be grateful. That's not really an answer. But it's also about what I expected from him. Still, I find myself staring at the tan grays of the walls and wishing that I knew the destination in mind. Even if it's not one that I could understand. When he doesn't elaborate, I give in and make sure that I'm keeping pace with him. Look, I get that as an alien that you might not understand what is okay and not okay to wear. But I have to warn you, you shouldn't wear that jacket. Huh? Why not? Why not? Tucker, because it looks like shit, that's why. What? Marruk, are you kidding me? Not one bit. Probably the most important piece of advice that I'll ever give you, honestly. And around here, you might as well not exist while wearing that. While you're dead wrong about some things, you might be right about me not existing while wearing this. Looks aside, I've had like 3 Karain just walk by me at this point. And I think it's because of the jacket. That's because no one wants to interact with the maintenance crew, Tucker, me included. Yeah, I get it. I'm not taking off the damn jacket though. It's warm, and it's literally all I have to wear. You got a better idea? I could probably find you a nice piece of cloth that would fit you better. And not make you look like a fool. Says the guy who was upset that I was wearing a towel. You have to wear more than a towel, Tucker. I'm not taking the jacket off. Fine. It was just a suggestion. Does his anger towards Rowan really extend to all of the maintenance crew? Or was he actually telling the truth, and no one really pays attention to them? No, surely he's just being his lovable self. Still, I've really grown kind of fond of the jacket. And if it actually helps me blend in as well, then I have nothing to complain about. After taking us a few more hallways down, he stops walking. Taking this as a sign, I look around only to be disappointed. It seems to be about the same here, except that we are now down a few floors. When he continues to not continue forward, I do get a bit confused though. Marruk? He just looks at me. We stopped. Once again, he doesn't verbally respond, instead deciding to just nod. Why? He sighs before raising his arms above his head and stretching. His tongue just curling out of his mouth, as I would expect it for a dog. Because this is the end of the route. Now, we go back. Wait, that was it? Yep. That was the route we're taking? Uh-huh. And now we go back to where we started? Mm-hmm. Nothing but gray walls? Pretty much. Oh. Well, this sucks. Now you get it. Come on, quit yapping and start walking. We got a few marks ahead of us before breakfast. Before breakfast even? He turns heel and starts heading back the other direction. Seeing as how I have no other options, I follow. Is this really all you do? Walk up and down empty halls? What? No. Are you going to explain what you do then? To you? If I'm feeling generous. Maybe after a few more passes of the route. Are you serious? Looking at him with confirmation proves it as he just stares ahead, eyeing every corner before turning away. Alright, if you won't answer that, how about telling me where we are at least? You gotta be able to tell me that, right? Still staring at him, I see that he's considering it. Or maybe he's just wondering what the best way to shut me up is. It could be either knowing him. Look, I know the floor names, the number of every room here, and how to get everyone in and out in case of an emergency. But what actually goes on here? I think it might be just computer labs. I haven't been inside of all of them. Well, that's illuminating. I guess I can't blame him. It would be impressive if he knew what was in every room on every floor. With that, I decide to give him a break. I don't want to push my luck. I'm just realizing that I'm going to be alone with him all day, and I'd hate to get on his bad side. After the fourth or maybe fifth time we take the route, a few more people start walking the halls. But not many. They seem mostly uninterested in us, or maybe they just don't notice me with my new jacket. That would be nice. The ones that do usually alert their friends or try and get past us as fast as possible. One even came up to us before realizing that I was there and bolted off. I think Marruk almost laughed at that, but I can't say for sure. After a few more loops, we take a quick stop for breakfast. Marruk finds an empty hallway for me to wait as he runs off to pick it up. His intuition is good and no one shows up until he gets back. I don't think we're close to anything like the area that he showed me last time, as we just find a bench and sit on that instead. Marruk quickly devours what he brought for himself before pulling up something on his monitor. You got 5 minutes, then we go back to work. Understood? Yeah, I get it. Looking at anything cool there? Huh? Like, your reports? Yeah? That's what you're reading, right? Oh, yeah. Reports. He quickly changes the screen that he was looking at. No. And they aren't cool. If I get a report, it's usually because something bad happened. Oh, right. Well, did anything bad happen then? Well? Remember what happened last time that you asked me to read you something off my monitor? Do you need a reminder of how that worked out for you? If I remember correctly, I got what I wanted in the end. But fine, be like that. I was just looking for something to talk about. I don't figure that you'd be interested in talking about the scenery, huh? I gesture to the pale gray hallway and floors. Marruk doesn't look convinced, but I also don't think that he's too interested in discussing the minutiae of the color choices around here. Alright. Let's just get back to work, and I'll humor one conversation, alright? Just remember, we're not here to have fun, Tucker. This is my job. One I've told you I intend on doing, no matter the task. With his little speech out of the way, he gets up and beckons me to follow. Alright, one question. I could ask about his job again, but I guess I kind of know what he does. He's a security guard, in a place with no civilians. So wait, he's a soldier? Okay, I guess I don't really know what he does. Maybe I should ask about the reports that he's been getting. I'm sure he has some interesting stories that he could tell me. Maybe something about his crew, or maybe more about how he met Merowyn? Or maybe even why he hates Rowan so much. Oh, that reminds me, I could ask about that thing Milo was talking about. Although it sounded like it was a really touchy subject. But who else could I ask? Well, he gave me one question, and that is one, but what do I ask? Hey Marruk, has the ship ever been blown up? Hey, this ship doesn't have a ton of cracks in it, right? Marruk, ever heard of something bad happen with the ship's engines? Ugh, think. How can I phrase it so that I can get a somewhat straight answer? Oh. I guess that's good enough. Hey Marruk? What's the worst accident that's happened on the station? Had I not been on this route with him for a few marks, I may have missed it. But despite his nearly perfect stride, he almost just tripped over himself. He slows for a second as we come to an intersection and looks down at me. Excuse me, Kit? What did you say? I was just curious. If there was some, bad accident. Surely you would have known about it, right? If there was... His eyes cut through me as he searches for some ulterior motive. There's no way that he could know that I overheard those two. This just proves that what Milo was talking about wasn't just some small accident. Although I didn't really expect him to react this way. I guess it was even more wide-reaching than I thought. Still, staring at me, I can barely see his eyes as a light casts a shadow from his brow, but I can see a faint blue through it all. Clarity to my credit, it was the right question to ask. The silence has gone on for long enough, however. I think I'm going to have to find another way to learn about this incident. Well, if you don't know, I could just ask another question. I thought of a few. Kit. He raises his head up and rubs his brow with a paw, taking a moment to think something through. We fully stopped at this point. I think we might have even taken a wrong turn, too. I don't know, Tucker. Probably something about a broken window. There is a lot of shit that happens around here, and I haven't been here for all of it. Can we get back to work now? Oh, sure. I guess I can always ask Doc. It's been a few marks of this now. Besides my legs starting to get a little sore, it's actually not that bad. Although, if yesterday was anything to go by, it's going to catch up to me soon. I managed to find myself zoning out and just thinking of something else. It's better than pointlessly worrying or exhausting myself. Marruk, to his credit, even spoke up a few times without me even having to ask him to. Though at this time of the day, there's no one out, so it does get a bit quiet. Marruk's paced work boots easily overpower the sound of my plodding sneakers. He's even so kind as to let me rest in the stairwell for a route. It might not be as interesting as the other two's jobs, but it's certainly something to do. I'd still rather be out here than just in my room all day. If I had something to do in my room, maybe it'd be different. Marruk comes back and picks me up for another lap as we head down the stairs to what I've dubbed the computer floor. That is, if Marruk's assessment of it is anything to go by. Most of the Karain down here aren't in the fancy lab coats or anything. Some even seem to not be in any uniform at all, just casual clothing. I think they're mostly just wearing t-shirts and sweatpants. I do find myself curious. I wonder if I can ask Marruk about that. I've only seen him wear something akin to a uniform, but still. I know that he said no more questions, but this feels harmless enough. Marruk? Yeah? Do you have any clothes besides your uniforms? Huh? What do you mean? Well, I was just curious. I have only really seen Karain around here wear uniforms. Do people around here like to dress up at times? Wear something not so regimented? I got maybe half of that kit. But, from what I think you're asking, I'm not the right Karain to answer. I don't really care about all of that, and personally, I like my uniform. But yes, I own other clothes, if you were worried. Otherwise, all I have are these, really. He raises a paw and points to his earrings. They were fashionable on Urian, although that was some time ago. I kind of regret getting them too. But, they don't bother me. Oh, well, I think they look good. But that's cool, thanks. Hey, Marruk? Yeah. I'm sorry about earlier, but could you tell me more about your job? Besides Rowan, you seem to be the one running about the most. And, well, I really can't understand why. Look, I told you. I make sure no one gets hurt. From what, though? From what? From anything, Tucker. From accidents to altercations. My team and I just respond to reports and make sure everything is running smoothly. Oh, okay. So, if there was like a spill somewhere, would you take care of that? No. That'd be janitorial. But if the spill was something dangerous, we'd cordon off the area. Okay. How about if something breaks? Depends on what's broken. A light? That'd be his issue. A broken door? Maybe us. We'd at least direct people around it. A broken... I guess he ran out of ideas. Instead of waiting for him to think of another example, though, I forced another question. Why all the patrolling, then? Why not just wait for something to happen? It gets boring. And if someone needs something, it's better to have someone close by rather than have to go all the way from our office. And Kit, you get one more question. Don't think these come freely. Damn it, why does he have to be like that? Ugh, fine. But you can't really tell me that you prefer silence over talking. I can and I will. Anyways, I actually need to stop and read some messages soon, so I couldn't answer your questions anyways. That's a flimsy excuse, but fine. Alright, one more. Are you going to actually answer it? Depends. Is it going to be crap like the last one? What do you mean? My questions are great. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can here. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with it is that I find it rather annoying when I've been working for almost 7 marks now and I can't get a moment to myself. Oh, and also, that counted as your question. But wait, what? That's not fair. He just smiles and scoffs, taking a moment to lean up against the wall and pull up his monitor. Fine. You can't escape my questions forever. I think I see him smile behind the projection, but I can't be sure. Taking the time to look around, I realize that we walked pretty close to where we started the day. I think Doc's lab is only right around the corner. Maybe. Well, everything does look really similar. I'm starting to realize that maybe some of it is recognizable. I at least know what the label for my floor looks like, which could really come in handy if I ever get lost. I wonder if I should just go back to my room now. But it's not even lunch yet. I can't imagine cooping up for the rest of the day could do me any good. Returning to Marruk, he seems to have finished his work. And we continue on with our never-ending route. It must be the 25th or 6th mark by now. Lunch came and went. The people working here have already left for the day and the hallways have gone dark. Marruk says that there are only a few more laps left. But all I can hear is that there are more laps that we have to take. I'm exhausted and I'm definitely going to be feeling this tomorrow. I'm starting to understand how Sisyphus felt. And maybe also Kate Bush. Anyways, Marruk has barely said a word since I last talked to him. His dedication to being just truly impossible to approach is impressive, I'll give him that. But it's damn frustrating when I have nothing better to do than walk. Looking around confirms that it's just a dead empty here. I'm not even sure why we're still walking, to be honest. We could probably just relax for the rest of the shift. But I don't think Marruk got to where he is today by taking breaks. Although I feel like he should at times. Without wind or some other kind of buffer, the sound of our shoes on the hard metal floors has become unbearably grating. I've also noticed that I keep accidentally matching his march instead of my more casual gait, resulting in an even more annoying sound as the rubber of my soles claws against the metal. Okay, to hell with the silence. Can we please talk about anything? I'm dying here. Marruk. Sorry. I was considering letting you die of boredom. But I don't think Doc would like that very much. Ugh, you are the worst today. But fine. We can talk. Shift's almost over anyways. Finally. Thank the eye or whatever. But can you lay off the annoying questions? I've had quite enough of that for today. Yeah, whatever. How do you expect me to start a conversation then? Most of them start with a question. Do they? That's a question, Marruk. Shit. Alright, fine. But I get to ask the questions this time. That's fine by me. Good. I don't think he had a question ready. So... You figure out how you got here yet? Me? I was kinda hoping someone else would tell me, honestly. Waiting around won't do you any good. Marruk, I can't exactly go anywhere right now. Even if I could, I wouldn't really know where to start. This isn't exactly a normal occurrence for me. Fine. Still, you got nothing? It's fucking weird. I'm not that smart, but I know people don't just appear without a reason. And yet, you kind of just did that, huh? Yeah, a bit. I don't even remember anything happening. I kind of just blinked and I was here. Honestly, I thought I just took a wrong turn. Pretty big for a wrong turn there, kid. Yeah, I'm a bit lost, that's for sure. He looks at me out of the corner of his eye for a second, before turning away and scratching behind his ears. I don't think Marruk has any idea how I got here, not that anyone really does. I guess out of anyone I should have the answer, but I don't. At least, he's not yelling at me and interrogating. Wait a damn minute. Marruk, are you just asking the question that you'd ask if you were interrogating me? Yes? Well, some of them. Look, Doc said that I wasn't allowed to do any of that anymore, so don't worry. And what did I say about asking questions? It's my turn to ask, not yours. I guess I shouldn't have expected anything less from Marruk of all Khura'in. At least he's being civil about it. I wasn't too worried about that interrogation anyways. But it's nice to hear that it probably won't happen now. Still, if he has any questions, he should just ask. Well, keep them coming. I'm full of useless answers. After he turns back towards me with a flick of an ear, I can see that he has a small smirk on his muzzle. Alright. One more. I think we're done after this lap, too. And if we ain't, I'll call it good enough. Is he treating you alright? He? Oh. Yes, Rowan's been a great roommate. He's a bit skittish, but otherwise, yeah. I can't tell if he believes me or not, but he nods all the same. Good. Good. Alright, you look like you're about to fall over. Let's head back. Giving him the limpest salute ever, I follow behind him through the last leg of our route. It seems that this part of the ship is even more desolate than where we normally are, as not a single Khura'in passes us until we get near our rooms. The pale lights lull me towards sleep, the growling from my stomach the only thing keeping me going. I really hope the cafeteria still has food this late. I'm going to need something before bed. Noticing that we are close to the library again, I figure that I'll just ask when we stop. Turning the corner, I notice that there's a Khura'in waiting outside the executive suite door. Getting closer, I can see that it's actually... Tucker, there you are! Merowyn quickly walks over to us, waving as if we couldn't see him already. Marruk, I thought that you would have been back by now. What took so long? Me? Doc, you're one to talk. I had to completely restructure my day because of you. Yes. Sorry about that. I was... well, preoccupied. Are you still? Busy, that is. Yes, a bit. But I wanted to come by and see you. And, well... apologize. Covering his mouth and looking away, he seems genuinely upset that he had to leave all of a sudden yesterday. I feel bad for him, but I'm also thankful that he knows that what he did upset me. Tucker, I am also sorry that I was pulled away yesterday. I believe that I have said that my schedule is a bit... Well, sometimes it's dictated by things outside of my control. But I will try to manage it better for you in the future. Damn, he really looks upset. I think he's even fidgeting a bit. Oh, of course, Merowyn. I appreciate the apology. But it's okay. Please don't feel bad. Words try to escape his mouth, but they all crumble and fail to materialize. Looking away, he rubs the back of his head and puts a massive paw into his pocket before... Oh! Wait, here, as an apology! He pulls a closed paw out and rests it in front of me, perhaps trying to give me something. I don't quite follow, but I place my hand under his until he drops something into it. Something cold and metallic. Pulling my hand back reveals... my phone. Wait. Can I have this back? Is Tyr done with it? Yes. I may have... encouraged him to finish working on it so that you could have it back. I know that it is important to you. And... oh! I had him make some improvements to it. Try opening it. After rolling it over, it looks the same. At least, all the cracks in the screen are right where I left them. When I press the power button, nothing happens. Marrow? Does it need to be charged? No, just tap the top here. He points to where the camera should be. And I see that there's something attached to it. When I tap it, however, a monitor screen pops up out of my phone. I have to stop myself from dropping it. What? How did you do this? I didn't do anything, huh? Tyr just quickly threw that together for you. So if it doesn't work like how you wanted to, let me know. Merowyn, thank you. Of course, Tucker. And, oh, one last thing. I took the liberty of inputting our contacts into it. If you ever need to message us, it should work. Hey Doc, when you say our contact, yes, and yes, Marruk. I gave Tucker your number as well. You could have asked first. Well, that's great and all, but I'm gonna head to the cafeteria before it closes. You good with Tucker here, Doc? Oh, yes. I'll message you a list. Please pick it up if you can. Yeah. What am I, a goddamn waiter? I swear sometimes. He cuts himself off as he turns the corner. Alone now with Merowyn, I pocket my phone and look at him. He still seems a bit skittish around me. He's standing a bit further back than I'd expect him, and his pose is a bit defensive. So how... You can go. No, please, you first. I was just breaking the silence. Oh, of course. Well, how was working with Director Tyrion? I hope it wasn't too much work. Oh, it was fun. I got to see some cool parts of the ship. And I met some new people. Really? That's wonderful to hear. And Marruk? He wasn't too hard on you. Nah. He's not as bad as he thinks he is. Yes. Yes. Yeah. How about you, Doc? How was working with Tyr? Oh, we don't have to talk about that, Tucker. Surely you would prefer to talk to me about your day instead. I'd love to hear about everything that you did with Marruk and... Merowyn, are you okay? I am fine, Tucker. I am sorry if I do not appear so. I believe I am just tired. I would very much like to sleep. I have tonight off, but otherwise I will need to work again tomorrow. I'm sorry. Looking closer now, I can see a small hunch in his posture. His breath seems a little labored and slow. I think he's telling the truth. Alright, well, I'm glad that you can rest tonight. I'd still love to hear about what you did with Tyr, but it can wait. Thank you. Yes, perhaps the stories should wait for another time. I did want to say, though, that... He cuts himself off as he looks down the hallway behind me. Turning around, I see a short Karain approaching us. Rowan? No, the outfit doesn't look right. Is that... Professor Seno? Did you need something else from me tonight? Hmm? No, thank you, Doctor. I actually wanted to come and talk to our guest here. Oh, of course. Well, please go ahead. Merowyn takes a step back to let the smaller Karain approach me. I don't think he expected him to be here right now. I wonder what he could want. Hello, Tucker. It has been a few days, hasn't it? I hope everything is well with you. He pauses for me to respond, but knowing that he won't understand me, I just nod in response. Ah, good, good. Well, I just came by to make sure that everything was alright. And to apologize for taking up so much of Dr. Seno's time. I'll let go of his tail soon, I promise. I came by to see how your living arrangements were treating you. And to make sure that Dr. Seno delivered your monitor back to you. Oh, yeah. Thanks for that. He quickly looks to Merowyn, who translates for him. Nodding, he replies. Good. I'm glad that you got it. If something doesn't work, do let me know. It wasn't my best work. I feel like he also said that about the neural AI he made. I guess he has decades to build up his standards. I did enjoy seeing how some of your technology functioned. I wasn't sure what everything was, but fortunately I did manage to not break it. It's a shame that you didn't have anything else on you when... Oh, but never mind that. Dr. Seno, our guests here, you've been monitoring their progress, correct? How have they been adapting to Arlarain so far? Very well, sir. I've got a report ready for you when you have the time. On top of other ones that I sent you, sir. Wait, has Tyr not read Merowyn's reports on me? Surely he must have at least asked about it. They've been together for like 2 days now, right? Yes, I believe I saw that. Well, that's good to hear. Ah, but I shouldn't keep you any longer. We'll speak more of this tomorrow. I believe our guest here should retire for the night, as should I. Although, now that I'm on this floor, I could also check the labs. Never mind me though. Please have a good night, you two. He offers a small nod before turning to walk away. Good night, sir. Good night, Tyr. I watch as he only gets a few paces down the hallway, before something stops him and he turns back to face us. Oh, I had almost forgotten. Tucker, the captain would like to have a word with you. To be continued. Ooh, Tucker, what did you do? Thank you for reading. So yeah, that was technically, I guess, the majority of day 10. Unless, it's gonna be like, showing the night portion of day 10. I guess we're either gonna have dinner, if Marruk is able to show up soon, or we're gonna go straight to talk to the captain. I'm not exactly sure what they're gonna do, or, what they have planned. But yeah. May our roads again cross. Ow, my back. So yeah, that was the beginning portion of day 10. Well, I guess the first half of day 10 is probably more likely. But yeah. So I wonder what's gonna happen. I wonder what the captain wants to talk to Tucker about. Perhaps how he got there, or how he could best fit into the station, like what he can do, and like what job he would want, maybe? I don't know. I mean, he can't just be a freeloader. I mean, he probably can, but he shouldn't. But yeah. I guess we'll have to find out in the next update. As I said in the previous video, this is... Well, I think I said it. This is the Patreon update. So, Cryptid Dog said that it was okay if I record it just as long as I don't release it ahead of time before the public version releases. Which, of course, I'm not going to do. I'm gonna wait until the public version releases, and then you guys get to see this. So, yeah. Because it would be bad if I release it ahead of time. Also, I recorded this immediately after I finished day 9, so yeah, I'm tired. As you guys know, I'm recording this late in the day when I usually just record things like earlier in the day. But yeah. So, also, Tucker got his phone back. His monitor back. I wonder if it's literally just gonna behave like a phone, or if it's going to act like a monitor light, where it's not gonna have all the fancy features that Rowan Marruk's monitor have. Or I guess it could be sort of like what Merowyn has, where it's sort of like the flip phone version of a smartphone. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see if he actually uses it. A couple of things. Depending on who you're staying with, the dialogue does change. So everything is the same except some dialogue does change. For example, when you're with Marruk, I think the conversation about the jacket is a little different. It's a lot less hostile. Well, yeah, it's a lot less hostile. He's like, well, I'm just wearing it until I get some new clothes. It's like, yeah, okay, fine. When Merowyn gives you the cell phone, and he mentions that he put the contact's information in, instead of Marruk being like, well, you could have asked, he's like, well, I would have given it to him. I would have given him the number eventually, so don't worry about it. So he's a lot more nice about it. And obviously, since you are spending time with Marruk in his little patrol, he, I guess, is a lot nicer to you. I don't know. I briefly saw the script page. Yes, Cryptid Dog, I do look through script pages. I don't do it to spoil myself. I just do it to see how long an update is. But yeah. He did tell me some of the differences, but I forgot now. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Messages. Oh, well, this is most of day 10, so I guess we'll just see a little bit more of day 10 when either you talk to the captain or you eat dinner or something happens. So he says, by my count, Rowan has 12 unique lines, including the bedroom scenes. Marruk has 6 and Merowyn has 3, if that helps at all. So Marruk has 3 route-specific lines, if I'm interpreting this correctly, and Merowyn only has 3, which I guess makes sense because he's not there. So yeah, and apparently, I think if you're rooming with Merowyn, he doesn't show up to sleep, so you end up having to sleep in in the room by yourself. So that might be one of the unique lines, I guess. Anyways, but yeah. Anywhoozlebees. So I wonder if in the next update we'll also get to see the captain. I'm assuming we will. I mean, you can't just say that you're talking to the captain and not show her. Show them. I don't remember if it's a her or a him or a they. Whatever. I'm tired. So I guess. So thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Roads Yet Traveled yourself, you can find it over on itch, and you can find a direct link to it from the creator's Twitter page, which will be linked down in the description, as well as the Patreon in case you want to support the project like I do now. And you get early access to builds of Roads Yet Traveled, as well as access to the Discord for now before it becomes public. And you also get to see behind the scenes of some of the script, of some of the background stuff, and Sometimes you get to see some of the characters before they show up. And yeah. And if you would just like to give the creator like a one-time donation, they do have a coffee, which I will link down in the description as well. And I also have a coffee if you want to give me some money. If you want to say like, hey, good job in reading this, for us. Here's some money. Yeah. So I have a coffee, which will be also linked down in the description. So yeah. Don't feel obligated to do it, but it's nice when people do. Anywho, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.